at SwedeTech, and we talked. And then, you know, a couple weeks later, we talked again, and it was getting to the time to where I even called Noah. I called Noah because I know Noah has the Pavese Brothers motor, right? He has the SwedeTech, I believe. If it's a Wilhelm or Spear motor, which all of them once were, they all came from that group from Wally. Wally's motors weren't SwedeTech ported, but I don't think so. But who's to say, you know, what a real Pavese brother is? You know, I mean, if you got a Pavese and you got the retard box, the big carburetor, and all that stuff, as far as I'm concerned, you're a Pavese brother. So called Noah, and I know, you know, he worked on Ron Miller's Rotax single, the mono, on his laydown. He dynoed it, and he's got some education. I mean, as far as I know, I don't follow a lot of what he does sprint racing, but he's a decent kid, so I figured what the heck, we'll talk to him and see what we got going. And he said he does actually have a 125 porting program that would work real good with the big carb, big pipe, and all that kind of stuff, and maybe he mapped it out from the motor he's got. I mean, we know his laydown cart, that he doesn't drive it, or he hasn't driven it in a while, but when he did, the last time he did drive it, the thing was a rocket ship, you know, so, but he's busy doing the sprint track thing with the tent, with the customers, kids under the tent kind of thing, right? So he's busy, and he couldn't get it to me to be able to run it and test it before Daytona. This is a Daytona motor project, right? So hence, here comes, we go back to Rennie and make another phone call, and then share 4 or 5 more email. And I'm telling him what I want, and he's kind of not really wanting to do it. And I said, listen, I know all about the Pavese thing you did with the Wilhelms and Spears and all that. So you know what you're doing. You have a program. You know, I don't care what it costs, as long as, you know, it's within reason. Just do something along those lines. And he's done thousands of cylinders since then. So maybe he's found something else. But he did kind of put me at ease to make me think, I can build you something that'll be good. And we're going to use the big volume pipe. We actually have Eric Chappelle sold me the Super Shifter, Diami Super Shifter 175 pipe, and it's not the OEM pipe. It's from John at SRS down in Texas. He developed a pipe. This is a $500 pipe, folks. $500, $600, $700 pipe. I got it from Eric for I stole it. You know, we traded him test day time for it, which you still need to come in and redeem, Eric, if you're looking in. It's got a little longer head portion, first cone of the pipe, which is with a big, going from a 30 millimeter carb to a almost 40 millimeter carb. You're going to hurt some bottom end, right? Although I haven't noticed any ignition retarding, static retarding of ignition hurting the bottom end of my vortexes or mid-range at all. It's still violent as all get out because of that little 30 millimeter carb. If we put a big carb on and it causes a bit of a problem with the bottom end, that longer pipe is going to, theoretically, is going to help us. We're going to find out for sure if John watches this video and we're still friends. He doesn't mind I come over and try these different pipes and find the combination that's going to work the best, make the most torque and power. We want to take the best piece we can without having to worry about, is it going to saw itself in two, down to Daytona, because this is it for me. This is the last swing. I swore I would not go back down there again without something that we could push out to the grid and be a threat to win a race down there. So that's the plan. We didn't build a new car. We're not spending the new money on building a new car, the Daytona car, because we're going to go with this cart. We know this cart handles like all get out. If you've watched any of these videos, man, it's, you know, and it gets around gratting with that old motor like nobody's business. So I'm really excited with a double crown job from SwedeTech and some help from Chicago on dyno comparing and tuning these parts and pieces. I think we're obviously, you know, we'll be able to put the best parts and pieces on the car and be able to get it down there. And knock wood, if the world doesn't explode, if things do get better, or at least they don't get worse, between now and Christmas, we can get down there and do this thing and let the chips fall where they may. I mean, we're going down and we're throwing everything we can at it. And this will be it. This will be the last time for us down there. I just don't see any other reason to go back down there. So that's it. That's what today's big update was about. All this engine stuff has been going on for probably a month and a half. I've been chasing all this stuff around, talking to folks, and getting shut down. And Brian Fisher, I've been chasing him since this time last year. Actually, talked to Joe Havorka at Pittsburgh when I picked up the vintage car, and said, "Hey, your buddies are Brian, aren't you?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, put a word in for me. Tell that guy to answer his phone, for God's sake. I need some help here. I want proven, track proven, results proven work that I do not have to develop between now and then. We're going to we're going to put the motor on. We're going to supposedly get it back no later than the 15th, which is a month from tomorrow. That's a Friday. That gives us the weekend, 16, 17, to get the motor mounts on it, get it on the cart. A couple days, Monday, Tuesday, get everything snapped up, put together, plumbed up, get a throttle cable on this thing, and some kind of hold down to make the throttle work and whatever. And we'll go with this. If Sid brings the PSI big air carb that he's got, if we can get it on and get it cool. If not, we'll, if you don't mind, he can meet us over in Chicago for an afternoon, and we'll throw it on a dyno, and we can run this and then run his and run one of John's Electrons, run a Delorto. We can try a bunch of carbs. We'll throw all the different pipes and silencers at it as well, and we'll work it out that way. Really just want to get the motor broke in, and we can do that with this carb. That's what we did all this work on this carburetor for, was to run it on that motor. So why not at this point? We're gonna plug along. We kind of have a plan. I just laid it out for you, and we're just gonna kind of follow it. So waiting. As you can see, it darkened up. It's a bit humid. It's supposed to rain tonight into tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 15th. But Thursday, certainly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going to be beautiful, low to mid 80s, sun. We're going to get over and finish taping and painting the rest of the trailer. Then we'll let it sit to cure up real good before we do the truck bed coating on the diamond plate on the front, finish up the tongue of the trailer, do the door jamb, get the new door hung with the RV handle and all that stuff. Bing, bang, boom, done and done. Trailer's done. Then we can really concentrate on maybe three and a half straight weeks of pounding away. Not a lot to do on this one before testing. We're not going to change the kingpins and stuff until after we go to Grattan and head over to Chicago for our dyno tuning. Won't take long to replace the kingpins. Obviously, we're going to have to scale it and stuff. We have scales here. We'll bring you all that video too. Going to have to get it all back in tune. Hopefully, been talking to Chris at Michigan Glass. He's supposedly got a 3D drawing for me to look at here. It should be now. I mean, he told me 2 to 3 days, and that was 2 to 3 days ago. So, hoping to get the new design bodywork made up, lightweight, real strong, cool looking, new designs on the car. And we're also thinking about more than likely going to move the radiator from the rear back to the front of the cart at Daytona and get it off the back of the cart. And that's it, man. Really, most of the work to do is going to be on that Yamadog, trying to get that thing hopefully in a condition where I can at least shake it down and get a feel for it at Grattan, even without side panels, full body work. It'll have a nose on it and stuff. And at least, you don't want to go all the way down to Daytona with stuff you don't even know, you haven't even had it running, except maybe on a stand. You want to make sure things have turned laps, brake pads are worn in, things are working. If it's going to leak, it's going to leak now instead of leaking when we get there. It's all part of doing your homework and being prepared before you get there, right? So that's all I got. I know it was a big, long video. I hope you stuck with me to the end and got the full Monty on what's going on. We'll be bringing you some video here. probably the painting of the trailer when it's done. We won't bring you. You saw kind of how we did things, so we'll bring you that when it's done, and obviously we'll bring you some of this other stuff as we're putting it together. But that's it for today from Racing Brosville. I'm Robert. I'm your brother in Christ, and I'm praying for you. Pray for me. We love you. Godspeed. It'll get better. I hope, because I want to go to Daytona.